Some people say it's a healing science. Do you agree with that, and why?
Definitely yoga is a healing science. I think from what I can tell of my own personal experience is what the yoga and meditation has allowed me to become aware of is the vibrational frequency behind things. So when you're meditating or you're doing the yoga and you keep a particular focus, you begin to tune into things that you're not normally aware of. And those things have a kind of a sensation to it. And so when you're not meditating, or you're in your normal active life, you can notice the difference of sensation of how you feel. So you're either aligned with certain energies or you're dispersed and scattered, unfocused. So the healing, I think, is that bringing yourself more condensed through experience and practice.
Fit to those people, to that environment?
Well, from what I can tell within my own experiences, I didn't think I could be an EMT. I really didn't. I mean, I had a lot of reservations. And then when I first took the basic, I had a lot of friends that are EMTs, and so through their personal kind of, I don't know what the right word is, but approach and communications with me, you know, they were like, just don't worry about it, just go to the class. And had I not had this science of Kundalini, I would have never been able to be an EMT. I mean, when they approached me and my friends, I was like, absolutely no. There's no way I'm just not set up for an EMT type of life. I don't have the personality for it. But then, in one of my meditations, I thought, you know what, boy, I was just really shut down to the idea. It was no, no, no. And then I thought, you know what, let me just be open to the idea, the possibility. It doesn't have to be, but I can be open to the idea of it. And so, through that approach, and then I went through the intermediate, or the basic, and then I went through the intermediate, and then when I was doing my clinicals, I had 3 days of like back-to-back, just some really gnarly calls. And quite a few of the people died in the rig on the way to the hospital. And it didn't affect me the way that I had anticipated. It actually turned out to be a real blessing because I got to help someone in their most critical time of need. And though it didn't work out in those particular circumstances, at least I had the opportunity to try and help somebody. And I personally felt fortunate to be able to help. And, you know, in the clinicals, it all turned around for me, and I realized, wow, you know what? This is a great job. It really is. You just need tools. You need tools to be able to help yourself and help other people. Just like you have tools that we have as an EMT to help somebody, you need those same tools to apply to yourself, within yourself, experientially.
What do you think that some of the application of yoga could actually improve or impact or enhance for an EMT?
As far as Kundalini goes, you know, just about anything you do is going to help you. It'll first confront you. It's, you know, it's, from my own point of view, I found it to be extremely challenging. Just about every posture, every meditation pretty much provoked me in some way, spiritually, mentally, physically. There was something going on. It would make me react internally. And then I learned if I could just focus, keep the focus, and keep my focus, that it's really all just ideas of what I think I should be going through or thinking or having or whatever. And it just helped me release a lot of my ideas of who I thought I was supposed to be, what I thought I was supposed to be doing, and actually living the reality of it and accepting it, whatever it is. So that answers your question.
Yeah.
So.
Favorite yoga story, yoga joke?
Well, I don't know if it's a particular yoga thing, but you know how to make God laugh?
No.
Tell him your plans.
What's your favorite yoga position?
Favorite yoga position? You know what? They're all just gems to me. Everything I have actually applied and done whether it was once or many times, has been a gift. So anything. Sat Kriya, Kriya means complete. Sat Kriya has probably given me more than anything else. And I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the more challenging things to do for most people. But if you can set yourself to it and stick to it every day, I invite you to have your own personal experience with Sat Kriya and see what it brings you.
And what is it?
What is the actual thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's either sitting in full lotus or in rock pose. If you watch my finger on my navel, the navel comes in on the S, Sat, and then relaxes, Nam, Sat, Nam. And you're going to take your hands, either, if you're a male, you overlock your right thumb to your left. If you're female, you do the reverse. You can either do it like this, or you can do it palms flat. I like to do it with my hands locked because you want to actually roll the elbows forward as they hug your ear, and that'll open up the back part of the spine here. And you're going to close your eyes. You're going to focus at the third eye. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. And you do that for 2.5 hours without stopping. And you're going to go through a lot. You're going to want to quit. For me, the number one thought I had was, oh, wow, this hurts. I'm not really enjoying this at all. This is hard. I want to quit. And I was like, Sat Nam, Sat Nam. I just focused on the vibration. And then I did it for 1,008 days. This is just under 3 years. And it takes 40 days to break a habit, 90 days to replace a habit, 120 days to confirm a habit, and 1,000 days to master a habit. Just as if you have bad habits like smoking, you have good habits. Sat Kriya is a good habit.
So you're still doing that?
No, I did my 1,008 days, and now I'm doing something else.
But I thought a good habit.
Huh?
A good habit you keep doing.
Well, you 1,008 days, you master it.
Okay.
So
you don't need to do it when you master it.
Well, mastery means that you go through a lot of processes, and in the experience of Sat Kriya is you're no longer doing Sat Kriya, you are Sat Kriya. The sound, what you learn is you'll learn to actually lock the sound current in the central column of the spine, and you'll induce shunya, which is 0 point. You'll pierce the veil of the mind. So your mind is still thinking, because just like your heart beats, your mind is going to think, right? It always thinks. Mind is duality, because it's going to weigh both the positive and negative, always. If you live in the mind, you're going to have doubt. But if you can pierce through that and live in the experience of being, you get in that shunya. Then what happens is you'll lock the sound current in the central column of the spine, and there's a resonance that happens. And then it just vibrates through your whole being. And then you don't have to do Sat Kriya to have the experience anymore. You can just induce the experience because you're now aware of the frequency that exists. So the practice is to make you aware of something that already exists. Then once you're aware of it, then you want to master it and live in it all the time. And then so I chose to go on to do something else that has other aspects that I wanted to work on. Yeah, I was reminded by another interviewee about the power of sound, mantra. And they had done research in the EMS field in ambulances about the type of music played in an ambulance when a person or a patient is in unstable conditions. They have a much higher mortality rate than someone playing prayer for music. And they had done, I guess, some research in critical care units. They had control groups, and it was all scientifically done, and they played prayer music. And it didn't matter what language or what religion, but prayerful music had like recovery times. I don't know, I don't want to quote numbers because I don't really remember what they were, but they were enough to be significant to me in that the healing power of sound and versus non-healing. And I'll have to look it up where this information came from, but it was just really interesting to me. So.